This is Marcy Anderson with the Fishing Report for Southeast Kentucky. Fishing is starting to pick up as the water temperatures start to rise in area lakes. On Lake Cumberland, the lake levels are still up and there is some debris in the upper portions yet. Water temperatures have been running in the mid-50s. Black bass are being caught on swim baits on main lake points. We're also seeing some really nice striped bass being picked up in the main creeks from the surface down to 30 feet of water. They're actively feeding on shad right now. On the Cumberland tailwater, increased generation to lower the lake is making fishing conditions a little bit tough right now. On Laurel River Lake, the water temperatures are in the upper 40s and low 50s, and the water still has some color to it in the upper portions. Bass are just starting to move into the shallow areas on the bank and cover and also on main lake points. Try targeting them using jigs and spinnerbaits. Walleye spawning is ongoing in area water bodies. In Lake Cumberland and Laurel River Lake, walleye are hanging tight on the riprap along the dam. Walleye will also be making upstream runs in Lake Cumberland in the Cumberland River and Big South Fork. Trout and catfish have recently been stocked into district water bodies. Daniel Boone National Forest streams were recently stocked with rainbow trout. Finns Lakes were also recently stocked. Brickyard Ponds, one of our local Finns Lakes in Barberville, was recently stocked with channel catfish. So good luck and good fishing.
This is Tom with your fishing report from the Northeast. Cave Run Lake is still way up over summer pool levels, which puts several ramps underwater and unusable. You'll need to call the Forest Service for up-to-date access information on which ramps are open and which ramps are not. Muskie anglers have been very busy. We've seen a lot of anglers, mostly trollers, along the dam area of the lake, although we have seen some fish move up into a little bit more shallow water, so I think you'll see those anglers start to shift as the water continues to heat up. Grayson Lake water levels have settled in quite a bit better than Cave Run. Crappie right now are active up the lake near standing timber. Cave Run Lake tailwaters are wide open, so you'll be fishing the slack water areas for panfish, and occasional muskie, some crappie in there. Just a couple reminders on that. The hatchery side closes at dark, and also on the hatchery side, please park in the designated areas only. Again, that's on the hatchery side of Cave Run Lake tailwaters. Lastly, trout were stocked in the Red River Gorge last week and East Fork of Indian Creek, Middle Fork of Red River, and Swift Camp Creek. East Fork of Indian and Swift Camp are still under the delayed harvest regulation. Please consult your fishing and boating guide for more information on that. And along 9B, which borders East Fork of Indian Creek, that road is closed right now to vehicle traffic. It is open to hikers, it is open to bicyclers, but it's closed to vehicle traffic per U.S. Forest Service order. Finns Lakes have also been stocked with trout recently, and you can find most of the trout stocking information up to date on our website, fw.ky.gov. And that should do it for us in the Northeast. So wherever you go, good luck and stay safe.
This is Jeremy Shiflett with a fishing report from the Northwest District. Rough River Lake is about 7 feet over summer pool and falling slowly. The lake is muddy with debris collecting around docks and in slack water. Knoll End is just a few feet above summer pool and falling fast. Fishing has been a little slow at both reservoirs as the water has bounced up and down and has been muddy to stained recently, but it should pick up quickly. Target those early spring bass with shallow crankbaits in red crawl in main lake pockets and coves, and Alabama rigs on main lake points and windblown banks. Look for crappie on deep cover with jigs or minnows, and also look for those crappie to begin moving in shallower to pre-spawn habitat very soon. At Knoll End, look for walleye in the upper river above Bacon Creek. Try Broad Ford, Wheeler's Mill, and Spurrier's Bridges. Use 1/8 ounce leadhead jigs with 3 to 4 inch curly tail grubs or paddle tail swim baits in natural colors, but also chartreuse, purple, red, and blue pearl work well. Blade baits or shallow running crankbaits can also be used where you have a little bit of depth. Try flicker shad, shadow wraps, or ripping wraps. Make sure to bring plenty of bait because the fish are usually pretty tight to the bottom during the day and you can lose quite a few. Reminder, the walleye need to be at least 14 inches to harvest, and you can take 6 fish per person per day. The white bass are also moving upriver. Hit similar spots as you would for the walleye, but you can downsize your lures. 2-inch curly-tail grubs in white or chartreuse, or something similar to a Bobby Garland baby shad are great bait choices. Look for fish in slack water above and below riffles. Again, you are permitted 15 fish with no more than 5 fish over 15 inches per day. Keep this in mind, because white bass over 15 inches are fairly common at Knoll End during different times. The refuge lakes on Peabody WMA, those being Island, South, and Goose Lake, open back up for fishing on the 16th. I made a mistake and mentioned those lakes in a previous fishing report, but you are now good to go as of the 16th to fish those lakes. Look for crappie and bass fishing to be good on there, as well as other lakes in the next few weeks. Catfish were stocked in Owensboro and Litchfield Finns Lakes last week, and trout went into those same lakes plus Madisonville City Park Lake this week. Trout also went into Otter Creek back on March 2nd. Fish went in on the ORA and Fort Knox. Reminder that Otter Creek is catch and release only, with artificial baits only until April 1st, except for a stretch on Fort Knox, 200 yards downstream of Camp Carlson to 300 yards upstream of the pump house. This section is open to fishing during daylight hours and statewide regs. Good luck and be safe while on or around the water.